What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I'm out here in Cabo, Mexico for my birthday, and this is video 2, talking about where you will live, where most people will live, and this is really the segmentation of our society coming through. And again, when they talk about the dark winter, this is what I want you to understand. There were books that predated this. There are books talking about how to live like a hermit, how to live like a country living, how to move out of the cities. Like all these books came when Ron Paul was in Congress. Okay, so this is nothing new. This is it's just hyper up and it's in your face. So this is the difference. So again, the biggest, of course, we always do the upside down triangle because on this channel, we know a majority of people are at the top bracket. We just do. All right. So the top bracket is what we call the wave 1, right? The first wave, people live in their cars. Wave 2 is RV living. Like they're not completely broke, but they have enough money to get an RV kind of thing or a nice SUV. They are going to be in undesirable areas. Their kids are going to be aggressive. Now you're going to say, Erica, that's how dare you be prejudiced and judge? And like, listen, studies show kids that go to daycare quite early are often more aggressive. When I say aggressive kids, I mean the school system, the areas you'll live in. They'll be undesirable. People don't want to be there. You know, you used to tell people you live in Inglewood in Chicago. They're like, oh my God. You tell me you used to live in Inglewood, California. Oh my God. You know, you live off MLK Street. Right now, those areas are desirable. So again, it'll have that same connotation. You'll tell somebody, hey, I live over here, and they'll look at you like, oh my goodness, get this girl out of here. So you'll have a lot of opportunity crime in those areas, high break-ins, you know, packages stolen off porches, you know, and even worse, like, you know, there's parts of Chicago when they took down one project, they moved all those people out into Section 8 in different parts of the city, and then it made that violence, that high level of aggressive kids who were unwatched, unloved, unmanaged, be all over Chicago. And on multiple blocks, shooting and attacking and doing things. So again, is Chicago a great city? Sure. It's one of the old cities. Notice how I have the different brackets, but it still has this high area of undesirableness, right? Taxes are out of control. People leaving. Pension funds are unfunded. Undesirable areas. And this isn't just going to be New York or California, because again, those also fall under the old city mantra. But let me kind of work it out with you. Undesirable. I have friends who will drive in parts of Austin, I kid you not, to just have a lot of working class people living there. A lot of people parking on the side of the street, and they'll go, oh my God, it's sketchy over here. And at first I would be like, is it because it's Black people over here? Because it's Hispanic people over here? But they'll say that even in white working areas where there's a lot of cars parked at one house. Why are so many people parked at one house? When you start seeing some areas where the houses are under 200,000 or 250,000, or what we would call starter homes, lots of cars parked there. Lots of people renting rooms. These are undesirable areas to some people, okay? Second area, what I would call is the old cities, the Rust Belt, the Midwest, the places where you're not going there for a job. Ain't nobody asked you where you're going in the middle of nowhere for Pennsylvania for a job. They ain't asked you why you moved to Ohio, not for no job, right? These are places where you got to tell them a story of why you moved there. Oh, well, my parents live somewhere, or I'm going back to Detroit and live in this unique part of the city. Like, you're going to have to dress up your conversation. And this will also be wave 3. Wave 3 is going to be people moving to Alaska, moving to the woods, moving in the middle of nowhere, homesteading, quotation marks, urban farming, and documenting it. Again, a lot of those places is called old cities, Rust Belt, Midwest, right? You got all these people moving to South Dakota. What became exciting about South Dakota other than their governor? Not much. Just a lot of people fleeing out of Chicago. Why are people moving into Indiana? Not much going on there, but it's a short commute back to Chicago, right? Old cities. You see all these people talk about, well, I'm staying in New York, I'm staying in Ohio, I'm staying in California. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to be better. This is a serious mentality. And that's why it's so high up on the list, because so many people will go, well, since everybody's leaving, I'm going to stay, and it's going to be better because there's less people and the incomes will be better and the housing will be better. No, you just got a choice now to move up to better housing because the housing had no choice but to go down, right? So you're talking about Seattle, 15,000 empty apartments, but they have homeless people everywhere. You're talking about parts of New York now where there's apartments that were 2 bedrooms that should be rented out, but because people had to be home because of the virus, they were unlivable. They were small, cramped, bad lighting, all the stuff that people say, man, I got a deal of an apartment in New York. They're not saying that because that apartment sucks. It doesn't work for future living. So a lot of those places are sitting empty, and there's a whole YouTube channel this guy has on showing New York apartments and the prices. So New York's gonna be one of those old cities. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I know y'all think I'm always bashing New York here. We actually have a cousin up there. New York, California, Los Angeles, San Fran's gonna be one of those where people are like, I'm gonna stay because look how cheap it is now. Cities an old city, right? Parts of Chicago, Philadelphia. I wouldn't say Philly. Philly's on that migration move list. And when I say migration move list, that's people moving from New York down to Florida. And so they'll have new blood and new money infused into it. But Pittsburgh, PA, not so much, right? Parts of West Virginia, no. Parts of Kentucky, no. People move there because their family's there and they're looking to return home to some cheap land. Mississippi, Alabama. These are places people are returning because they need cheap areas to live. Okay, does that make sense? That's what that big first two waves are. Okay, so now the next level is buffer areas. What is a buffer area? A buffer area is somewhere that might be up and coming. You want to be in Atlanta, but you can't, so you're in the county beside it. You want to be in Austin, but you can't afford it, so you're in Round Rock, Pflugerville, all the surrounding areas, right? You want to be in LA, but you can't afford it, so you're 2 hours away in some city near Los Angeles, right? San Bernardino, somewhere near there. You want to be in the big city, but you can't, so you're in a buffer area.
Hey, this is DJ the Money Coach. What are you waiting for? Don't you want to be free in America? Don't you want to increase your credit score by 100 points in 30 to 45 days to have over 800 credit score, just like me? Just like 4,000 people last year that came to the same webinar, just like the 20,000 people that we helped get consumer debt free, get financially independent, help them start businesses, help them invest in real estate, dividend stocks, and Forex too. You got to hit that link in order to get that and take advantage of the early bird special for $99 or less. You get millions of dollars of information to help you get free in America. What are you waiting for? Free is not free, but freedom can be yours if you put work, accountability, and a system and a top flight team together. You can get free.
Where it's not too bad. It's not dying like an old city. It's not Rust Belt. It's not going away. It's a buffer area. Even if you look at buffer areas like Georgetown and Round Rock, Texas, because of the proximity to Austin, they are really thriving, even if they have that kind of little old town feel to them, right? So again, buffer areas are going to be all over the place. You will not, you'll find them everywhere. There'll be a little bit of everywhere. You'll always see people talking about an up and coming place. Yeah, girl, I'm at this up and coming place. You'll always see that, right? You'll see a lot of that. Okay. So again, next is master plan communities. Okay. So this is the future of where people want to go and where people want to live, right? And I'm not putting prices on these because, as you can see, when I talked about Canton, Mississippi, getting that Amazon store, they had brand new houses for almost 300,000 in nowhere, Mississippi. I'm talking about population less than 11,000, charging 300,000 for houses. When you think, in my mind, when I think of an area, I'm thinking, oh, I should only pay 100,000 for a house there. That's just it. They're becoming master plan communities. So they're keeping out a particular income bracket. Master plan communities will have their schools inside the master community. There'll be no busing. It won't be 1960s, 1970s where you bus kids from other areas, which could be poor white, could be poor black, could be poor Hispanic, but they don't live within the area of walking distance to the elementary school. They will not go there. The term, if you Google it, you'll start people saying neighborhood schools. It's about to be very popular. Neighborhood school, my neighborhood school. Trust, they're going to start using that more and more, very conveniently. Okay, super high security is what you'll see in these areas. Again, what you don't see in the Rust Belts, what you don't see in the old cities is just cops kind of like keep moving along, move it along, keep it moving. Aggressive areas will just be heavily policed, lots of police circling, lots of social workers. It just will be what it'll be. Buffer areas, a little bit more calm, getting better ratings because people are a little bit more, working class there, upper working class. But master plan communities, they ain't playing with y'all. I told you guys multiple times on this channel, when I was at the Domain, when Black Lives Matter was going on, they locked that bad boy down. They had contractors, they had security, people putting blue lights in their car. They ain't no cop, but they're there hired just to be a warm body to deter you to get from up over there. Okay. And they're building more and more domains in America, period. Like you can go in all over cities and again, they will call them campuses. I talked about it in the previous video about gentrification will be hitting the middle class. If you're out in this master plan community, well, you know, people are like, and there's a master plan community getting developed right now in Georgetown, Texas, that's off the water. And I want to be in the back part where there's $500,000 houses. Well, of course, the lady who saw me said, well, don't you want to be in the front where the families are with the elementary school? No, ma'am. No. That part of the master plan community will always be in flux because it's like $250,000 to $300,000 range of the community. The back where I'm at will be old money. It'll be old money and people who own businesses. And kids won't break into your house and they won't be bothering you. Right? There's security. Like by the time you drive from the back to the front of this master plan community, it's so damn big. They're going to have a series of plazas and a little bit of shopping stores in front of it because it's so big. Okay. Multiple footballs, right? There's 5 or 6 of them in here. And I'll bring up a map. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up a map of it in another video so you guys get an idea what I'm talking about. But again, it'll be high security. It'll be where you want to live. The school has always got a great rating because high PTA involvement, high people focused on it because, you know, they love it. It's just going to be different. It's going to be where your wife wants you to move. All right. Tech hubs. Tech hubs will be little campuses and cities of their own. The San Franciscos of the world, where you just can't even afford to live there, even though San Francisco is draining out 18,000 companies. The Austin, Texas of the world, the Nashville, Tennessee's of the world, the Raleigh, Durham Research Triangles of the world. The goal is always to be within buffer area or master plan community area of the tech hub, depending on what your skill is. Again, these the top chart of this, where you're talking about Rust Belt, old cities, and all that stuff like that. You could just be a plumber and move to Ohio and still be doing okay because people will still need plumbing everywhere you go. You can be a woodworker, move in the middle of the near woods and sell your woodworks online, and you still make money in the middle of nowhere. The people in the buffer areas or people that want to in the future live in the tech hub, or the young guy or girl getting out of college or not even going to college, but like, hey, I need to be where the tech hub is. It's going to be a big deal. Now, I just put tech hub here as the pinnacle, just for the sake of this conversation. But ultimately, like the peak areas will be areas near the water, parts of Florida. Right? Parts of Texas, why is Austin so valued? Because of the water, where the aquifer water comes up from the spring there. But below Austin, it's called Wimberley and Seguin, Texas. These areas are going to be very high priced because water literally comes up out your backyard. Literally wells and springs everywhere. A lot of other places are going to be just key places, right? You're going to hear about people going to Alexandria, right? They work in security or they work for the government, but they can work from home. I'm just putting Texas up here as a pinnacle because it's important, but any area that has growth, and when I say talk about Texas, I mean Texas in general has growth. Mississippi will have some growth. Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, a pinnacle point. Parts of Florida, pinnacle points. This will be the future. Nashville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? You're talking about, places that are the spearhead, if that makes sense. So again, I hope this made sense. I hope this video made sense for you guys. We'll break it down another day in another way. We'll do a master community video, but this is really the future of where people live. When people name cities, it won't just be, hey, I'm in this city. Or if you start saying, hey, I'm moving back to Michigan, for what? Where? It's like a story, why kind of thing. So anyways, you guys, this is your Erica Classy Climb blog off to Margaritaville. You guys have a great day.
Hi, my name is Annettesworth, and I've been able to teach over 200 students, beginners, how to get started investing in the stock market. My first course, Stock Market Course for Beginners, easily teaches you how to read a stock chart so you know when to purchase a stock on sale. My second course is How to Build a Winning Watch List. This is how you know which company you should be investing in, what makes up a good company. You'll be able to read a stock chart, know when to purchase a stock, and know which companies to pick. Investing in the stock market isn't hard, we just wasn't taught about it in school. The hardest part about building wealth is just getting started. Are you ready to start today? Click the link in the bio or go to annettesworth.com to enroll today. Let's get it.